恭请师父上人及法师慈悲，安以一切众生转妙法轮，教导我们了生脱死，离苦得乐。
那到六部不一切断一切修一切善，也就是利益众生方面，你要努力做去；利益自己方面，尽量要利益自己的就是自私自利，这个就是要利他善，能断一切修一切善，才能利一切谈到戒的话，最根本是戒，其次法戒，沙弥沙弥尼就是一戒，菩萨呢有一众48轻戒，比丘250，比丘尼348，但是要按详细来说，他们戒律也是无量无边的，不过容易犯的，现在是出来这么多。那么在这脚查不到的戒律是没有数。总而言之，能不能举心动念，直接都要审查小心谨慎，不生一切恶念，而生一切善念。这都是戒，他们的戒律都是不遵守罪。在国家来说，就像按国家的法律。所以，国教到哪一个地方，遵守国家的法律，遵守 一个人自己的戒，受不受戒？那么戒律之后，就要修忍辱。这忍辱啊，是在侮辱你的人，他对你呢不客气，不横逆相加，不是在你呀位置地位呀比你高尚，比你高尚的有势力的，你对他们人，那是向他的势力不屈，不是中央，他的地位比你低下，随着他的智慧不入，他的学问不入，他一切都不入，能以奈，这那么你不言不不能实际，不能忍辱，但是你不能懒惰，你不能怠惰不甘，你呢要怎么样呢？要精进。这个精进呢，真精进。诵经、礼忏、坐禅、持咒，要让身体修行的勇心精进的，念兹在兹，时时刻都要勤修戒定慧，一灭贪嗔痴。那么咱们人呢，贪嗔痴不容易洗，不容易洗灭，咱们才要洗灭。如果要是容易洗灭，不需要会灭。这个贪心来讲，贪财就是远远的跟这个与生俱来的贪财。 其实现在这个财呀，根本就是人在那做的是一张纸，究竟上的花花绿绿的历史，就把人都迷糊。以前用的金银铜铁而且用石头，这个世界就只有一个世界，可是纸糊的一般人容易道德忘了，就他那个纸糊的一张纸，这是什么？很傻哎，这个傻呀我们分别这个财上生的美丽和丑陋，丑陋生出一种分物要是生的美丽，就生出一种贪爱。对这个眼睛骗了自己，用眼睛的支配，再美丽都是一个臭东西，再丑陋的也是丑。样子虽然不同，里外边虽然有多少不同，但是里边都是一样的，没有什么美丽和丑陋在这个皮囊里。再往里边一找，就是能学言谈吐名在我的五脏里头，一言不大小便规矩，外边再美丽，里边也都是臭不可闻的东西，有什么不同的？这何必那么执着？可是于是又在美好常用不寻找美好而憎恶丑陋。这于是这个有贪心的人，他不但贪，这就是一切他都有，甚至想入非非，想入非非说我想也指不尽这种非非性。咱们古人有四句诗可以代表这个贪心这种狂性。这个诗怎么说的呢？桃花朝朝阳，明月何妨一时圆。 大地有钱，全体黄，长云路。因为看看这花朵呢，看这个花呀，天天要这么开的这么甜呢，这有光，人人天天欣赏花，这说的花，也可以说说这个漂亮的女人，她要是总那么年轻，不老，也不会变成鸡皮膏药，情不隆咚，身体不死。这也说，这也可以说好花长表面，天天都是开开心心，天天他也不老，年轻的。明月何方夜夜圆，说这个月亮、月光家人赏月，看这个月光非常的欢喜。那么看上去也没有像太阳那么晃眼睛。再细看那月亮里又有一棵树又有个兔子，越看越舒服，越圆反正越不圆看着没那么好看。所以说明月何方夜夜圆，这是什么呢？月光有一种月光如酥，给你们很迷醉。大地有穷结化，这个尝酒的人他就想，我想喝酒要去用钱买，如果每一个水泉变成酒，我想喝的时候喝醉，所以说大地有泉，这个土地上有泉，一个地方都变成酒泉，这个话贪财的人呢就想，这是古来用铜钱的时候。那么用铜钱的时候自己要去做工赚钱，做事情才能赚到钱。如果每一棵树都变成摇钱树，我用钱的时候走到那儿去，那个堂林就是那个最很大的那树林子，树林每一棵树都变成摇钱树，就打这个王响。一打这个王响晚上就睡不着觉了。睡不着觉了，头发就白了。 什么地方头发白了，就是贪心，眼睛也花了，耳朵也红了，都不帮助自己。用这个嗔呢，嗔就是脾气，就是烦恼，嗔心。这个嗔心呢，晓得了，人人都不好，哪一个人都对不起我，我对他这么好，他对我那么好，也受不惯。对所有的人发脾气，拿这个烦恼就当饭吃，吃了一顿又一顿，吃了一顿又一顿，没觉得吃不够。食呢，食就食思妄想，就是愚痴，愚痴不应该得的他要得，不应该做的他要做，就是愚痴，不应该吃的他要吃，不应该有的他想要有，这是愚痴。例如什么呢？例如这个人也没有读过书，他就想要去得到一个博士的学位，你说这愚痴？没有种田呢，他到秋天就想收谷，没有种的春天没种，秋天他就要收粮，总而言之啊，不可能的他就想要这样去做，甚至于他做个梦发财了，他以为这是真的，等醒了的时候，他还不是自己做梦发财，我醒了也一定会发财，就在那什么也不做了，不等着发财。可惜他遇不着这个旁门左道，叫他点石成金这个话。有吕洞宾这个手指头点石成金这个手指头那个也会的圆成他这个发财的梦。可惜洞宾知道他要发财，也不愿意见他。那么想要求清净，就要勤修戒定慧，灭贪嗔痴，发大菩提心，时时刻刻向前努力，不懒惰，时时刻刻不愿自在自在的修行，向前努力，昼也精进，夜也精进，我觉得都是精进，精进，然后修行，这个精进是非常重要，不能不精进，不怕慢，不打慢。你要不精进了，想成佛嘛，要精进。
前是吃喝玩乐什么都来，而且它是一个也是相当一种玩死，属于一种相当顽劣的一个地，但是他还存有一个很好的孝心。那他在上年的7月皈依师父，他在这一次我们跟师父主事情回到台湾的时候，只过去3天，那3天要临走的时候，师父把他的一只拐杖送了给他，跟他讲你要主宰自己。然后我也在电话中跟这位朋友开过玩笑，我说师父的拐杖放在家里，你要好好所求。有那么一天晚上，在台湾的那么一天晚上，他打电话来了，他哭了，痛哭流涕，哭了，因为他是一个相当硬的一个男孩子，相当铁石心肠的一个男孩子，但是他痛哭流涕了。他说：“我在今年40岁啊，我才知道什么叫做良师，因为我今天碰到了师父。”
还记得在马来西亚有一年呢，这个人跟去这个看这个相片的时候，也是，可是以前有地没有我就看这个相片这个改变的相片真的，看着看着呢，后面很多就有人看你的这块石头，如果他不去看这相片呢，这块石头已经打在这头上，这个容易。对，在那坐着，他就看着这个相片里面有摇动，他们也不是地震，也没有什么其他的理由来做这个相片动。这么他就走到那个相片跟前去看，仔细看看是不是有什么在这个相片后面，才弄的才动弹。帮他看一个，就在这个时候，就在他坐的那个头上那个地方，就有人偏进一块石头，就被约了一个打坏了，块大石头。如果不是我去看这相片，有个头被打破了。这里干山呢，有一个就是万和城那个越南的他这个弟弟77年在洛杉矶的太阳庙出家，2年到这个印度去。在印度住了8年，在印度荷兰大学不是就遇到一个印度的女人，就和他结婚了。结婚了怎么样呢？这个女人会落杠头，就给他落杠头了。落杠头之后啊，他一定要听这个女人的话，这个女人的话还不就不说。这样他就各处去找那个印度的咒师，专门持咒的那个密宗的咒师，找了25个人，25个都是有很有名的。求这25个人给他破他那个杠头，就是放火。这杠头这25个正式说他们没有法子救他，除了佛尔外，没有人可以救他。那么他又到塞巴巴了，塞巴巴专门偷东西， 怎么偷呢？他这空着手腕，这空中这么一抓就可以抓来东西，就拿来东西啊，就这么大本事，跟他2年，三八粉也没有办法，也救不了他，因为他这个女人放这个骨啊是很厉害，是什么呢？是一个蛤蟆。他从小在这蛤蟆在他肚里转来转去的，跳上跳下，这么样弄得他不舒服。这样的呢，完了以后就回到美国来了，但是他每个月要给这个女人寄钱去，如果1个月不寄，那他这病就发作。那么这个女人什么时候叫他回去，他又要回去，不回去也就病留下来。那么他这个姐姐跟着我出家就跟他说，你这个种这种魔，除非我师父你可以救我，不然的时候你是不行的。他就想找我去，这么好几年，他到万佛城，我就不在，跟我在那儿他又走了，这么多年都这样。这一次呢，他就礼拜3到了金山寺那儿等着我，我给他弄一弄，他说清风老佛，就像身上那个不堪都没有事。回去回在家里去，当然是可以好。南洋一带也厉害啊，南洋一带都是有一些不可思议的境界，新加坡、印尼啊，泰国那个小乘的和尚都会。所以你们跟这小乘和尚也要小心一点，他很多有钱的人都受他们控制啊。
不行，
他都跟着我。
下次师兄啊，朋友打的时候。
路上我就叫你常常你找他去，不知道他那拜佛你顺便。
Good afternoon. Today we have with us the Venerable Master Hua and Dharma Master Heng Shi from the sagely city of 10,000 Buddhas in Talmadge, California. The Venerable Master Hua is going to talk with us briefly about the Chinese Chan meditation tradition and how to meditate. Dharma Master Heng Shi will translate for the Venerable Master Hua.
All of you good and wise advisors, all of my fellow classmates. Chan meditation is a part of Buddhism, and this part of Buddhism requires that you concentrate your mind. Concentrate to the point where you have no confusion left. cultivate at that point. This is Chan meditation. Now the word Chan is half Sanskrit. It's a semi-Sanskritized word. The complete word is Channo in Chinese, which translates as cultivating one's thoughts, thought cultivation. Now thought or thinking, this requires that you do a little investigation. It works like a fire drill, the old technique of drilling wood to spin sparks and to start a fire. It's that kind of skill that we use, that kind of gong fu that we use when we investigate Chan. You could also compare it to a cat stalking a mouse outside the mouse hole. The cat, as it waits for the mouse to come out, is also very concentrated as it waits. Another analogy is like a mother hen sitting on her nest, waiting to hatch her eggs. She hopes to concentrate and bring the chicks out of the eggs. So sitting in meditation, investigating Chan, is just like this. The purpose of Chan is to get enlightened, to lighten up your mind, and to see your nature. The purpose of Chan is to break through your investigation until you understand its original source. We could also say that Chan is a lot like a dragon guarding his pearl. It's said that dragons cherish their pearls more than anything else, and they guard that pearl with undivided thoughts. So there's a saying that goes, when you can concentrate, then it's magic. When you're confused, then there's nothing at all. When your thoughts scatter, then there's nothing. Chan meditation requires that you have no second thoughts in your mind. You just bring that crazy mind to a rest. You put a stop to its endless wanderings. You gather in your body and your mind. When somebody is skillful with this investigation of Chan, then when they are sitting in meditation, then there is Chan going on. When they're walking, they're also investigating Chan. When they're standing still, they're also investigating Chan. When they're lying down, that's also the process of Chan meditation going on. Traditionally, in China, the method used was to look into what's called a huatou, the word head, your meditation topic. The one most often used is to ask yourself, who is reciting the Buddha's name? Sometimes they change it a bit and say, who is reciting the Buddha? Who is reciting the Buddha's name? Who is in there reciting the Buddha's name? Another common topic that people look into and investigate is, what was my original face? What was my original appearance before my father and mother were born? They look into that. Now, this is called a huatou, literally in Chinese, a word head. That's to say, you apply your skill, you investigate right at the point before the words come out. This is not the word tail. You don't look into it after language has come forth. You want to investigate right at the place before the first thought emerges. That's the place where you investigate, when you look into a huatou, when you investigate your meditation topic. So, who is reciting the Buddha's name? Who is in there reciting? Now, the purpose of investigating this huatou, this meditation topic, is to put an end to all discursive thinking, all polluted thinking. Now, it's true that who is mindful of the Buddha, who's reciting the Buddha's name, is also a false thought. This is also a discursive thought. But we use this one polluted thought to put an end to all other polluted thoughts. If we can solve this first problem, then all other problems are solved. We use one falseness to end all falseness whatsoever. But understand that this requires deep concentration. We have to concentrate to the exclusion of all other thoughts, then it can work. Now, even though our false thoughts before we begin to investigate are very many indeed, if we can concentrate our minds, then suddenly we can get enlightened. We penetrate right through. Then, at that point, there's not a single thing among all the myriad facets of reality that we don't completely understand. At that time, we attain an omniscience, all wisdom. We understand absolutely everything there is to know between heaven and earth. There's a phrase that describes it. It says, "Suddenly, one day, we penetrate right through." Now that's because the time we finally understand, when our investigation of this topic comes mature, then it's a very sudden awakening. This is what's known as sudden enlightenment. And at that point, we are enlightened. There's absolutely nothing that we don't understand at that point. We have the functioning of the entire substance of all of reality at that point. Now, at that point, our original wisdom flows forth very spontaneously. We have the working of great wisdom, so it's called the great functioning of the entire substance. The Buddha is simply a person who has the operation, who has control of his own great wisdom. That's what the Buddha is. So we want to attain the state of great wisdom, of omniscience. So what do? We investigate the Dharma door, the method of Chan meditation. Are the other methods good? Yes, they are. The Buddha taught 84,000 different kinds of meditation methods, different kinds of Dharma doors, they're called. And yet every single one of them is a road towards Buddhahood. Whichever method is appropriate to us, whichever one we like, that's the one that's right to use. You can't say that the others are all secondary. It depends on our own particular preference, which one we use. No matter which method we do adopt, however, we all require concentration. Every one of those methods means we need to concentrate our minds. Whether we investigate Chan, whether we follow the teaching school's principles, whether we recite the Buddha's name with the Pure Land Dharma door, whether we hold mantras and investigate the esoteric school, or whether we hold the moral rules and investigate the Vinaya, every one of these methods is just as good as the others. It depends on our preference. And each one of them requires concentrating to the ultimate point, to where there's not a single other discursive thought in our mind other than the one meditation topic that we constantly focus on. We focus our concentration until the stove is white hot, until our fire is at a peak heat. Right at that point, it's said that when the mountains fall down and the waters dry up, and we fear that there's no further road ahead, just at that point, beyond the bright flowers, appear the lights of another village. That's the state that we want to reach and maintain. It's said that you climb to the top of the 100-foot pole and then take one more step. At that point, if you can do it, then everywhere within all the 10 directions of the compass, your Dharma body manifests.
坐禅这一法，你先要端然正坐，这个左腿压右腿，这样子结上双夹趺坐。这个双夹趺坐又叫金刚坐。卧成道就是坐着这个双夹趺坐而成道。所以我们想要学佛法，想要成圣人，也都先把这个夹趺坐练习会做了它。我们现在在万佛城呢，有的人这么一坐就可以坐14、15个钟头，有的人呢能坐12、13个钟头，有的人就能坐8、9个钟头。当然有的人呢，最多坐的半点钟，这触发心的人能这样做，那么就有你在这个心性上自己就能有无量的功德。至于做的时候随时随地在什么地方都可以做，也不一定专门要打坐时候要有垫子垫着，后边垫高一点，前边低一点，这随时随地都可以打坐，随时随地都在修行。你只要你做的端然正坐，这个眼观鼻，鼻观口，口问心，那么能 把心置之一处，能置之一处，无事不办。这个一字啊，天得一清，地得一宁。人呢要得到一就是圣人。所以嘛，你要修行，就要转移，要归一啊。归什么一呢？就一念不生。你能一念不生，就全体现。六根互动，就被云遮。你眼耳鼻舌身意一照到外景上了，那就等于这个万里晴空生了乌云一样。你要是一念不生，你那个本有的大智慧就现出来了。
As for the method of sitting, we want to sit upright, to sit erect. We put our left leg on our right thigh and the right foot on top of the left thigh. This is known as the full lotus posture. It's also called the Vajra posture, the adamantine posture. When the Buddha accomplished the way, accomplished Buddhahood, this was the way he was sitting. It was this posture that aided him to accomplish the way. So if we cultivate, we want to have success in the Buddha Dharma, we want to become sages, the very first thing we need to do as we practice is to begin to meditate in this posture until we can do it, until we can sit without any problem in the full lotus posture. At the sagely city of 10,000 Buddhas, now there are those who, some people can sit 14 and 15 hours in this posture without dropping their legs. Others can sit 10 hours, 12 hours in this posture very comfortably. Some sit 8 to 9 hours at a stretch. Of course, there are others who can sit for 30 minutes only. These are the beginners among us. But everyone emphasizes and practices sitting in full lotus. When you can adopt this meditation posture, then your merit and your virtue are boundless and infinite. We should practice until we can sit in full lotus wherever we are at any time. It shouldn't be the case that we have to have a special cushion or a zafu or a sitting rug and only then can we meditate. It shouldn't be the case that we have to prop up in behind and have our knees in contact with the mat down below before we can begin to meditate. We should be so attached. It should be that at all times and anywhere we are still cultivating, we're still meditating. We want to take our eyes and contemplate our nose, let our nose contemplate our mouth, and let our mouth contemplate our mind, our heart. When we can concentrate to a single point, then there's nothing that we can't do. It's said that this single point is the important thing. When heaven attains the one, this single point, then heaven is pure. When earth attains the one, this single point, then the earth is very peaceful. When people attain this one, this single concentrated point, then people become sages. We at all times return to this one place, return to this single point. Now, in our minds, we want to meditate until we can reach a stage called not even a single thought coming forth. It's said that when not even one thought appears, then the entire body comes alive. The entire body manifests before us. The entire substance appears. However, as soon as one of our 6 organs moves, then we're covered by clouds. What's it like? As soon as our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, or mind, one of the 6 sense organs suddenly moves, then it's just like a clear sky for 10,000 miles that suddenly is clouded over by dark thunderheads. It's the same result. So we want to cultivate, concentrate until not even a single thought arises. When not even one thought comes forth, then our basic wisdom can appear. No matter what method we select as our primary focus of meditation, we let that method be our primary Dharma door. Let this be our basis of cultivation. All our other habits and practices are supporting, they are subsidiary to that primary focus of our spiritual work. This is our most important cultivation method. The others simply support it. We need to bring all 10,000 conditions, as it said, the 10,000 variables together to a single point. Then our work can have success. Now, as an example, we may not, on one hand, meditate and expect any kind of success or good news, and on the other hand, go ahead and drink as we please, smoke cigarettes, eat meat, indulge in promiscuous behavior. We can't do that. At the same time, expect to have any luck with our meditation. It's not the case that we can say, well, I think I'll wait a bit, I'll just have a couple more for the road and maybe smoke a few more cigarettes or have another hamburger or go indulge in more sexual behavior, and then when that's done, when I'm satisfied, then come meditate, and that I expect anything will happen. It won't. You won't have any success. All other activities have to fall in line behind our meditation if we want to have success. Everything we do must accord with the precepts. What we need to do is understand the principle of do no evil whatsoever and reverently offer up all good behavior, do all good deeds. Then we can expect to have some success with our meditation. It cannot be the case that when we sit and meditate, we put on the style and we look like a regular pro. But then as soon as we stand up from our meditation, we let everything go slack and we fall back into our old habits. That won't work. We have to guard our mind all the time. We have to keep our mind from indulging in reckless thinking, in casual, random discursive thoughts. Just don't let them enter into our mind. Then we can get some good news. When we meditate, we have to support that time of meditation with our deportment at other times. Walking, standing, sitting, and lying down all become part of our meditation. All support and aid that time when we're actually meditating. It can't be the case that on the pillow, on the meditation cushion, we look like a regular cultivator, but then as soon as the period is over, we stand up and then do as we please. We just drink, and carry on, and have a great time. We let our guard down and relax. That won't work. We simply won't. Our meditation will not come to success. We have to be serious about it. So Confucius, when he outlined the eightfold requirements, the eightfold formula for cultivation, he said, number one is to cut off material desire. We have to put an end to our greed for things. Number one is we have to stop all thoughts of greed for wealth. We have to put an end to all thoughts of greed for beautiful forms, of wanting to have a very pleasant love life. If we can put that down, we can expect our meditation life will open up. We have to put an end to all thoughts of becoming famous. We have to stop that kind of polluted thinking if we expect to get anywhere with our Chan meditation. We have to put down all desire for good food, for delicious flavor. Then we can have success. We have to put an end to all thoughts of luxurious sleeping habits, of having a good night's sleep, because this, if we don't do it, will obstruct our meditation. When these 5 desires, wealth, sex, fame, food, and sleep, come to an end, and we don't entertain those, what are called the 5 roots of the hells, in our mind, then our meditation will really take off. If instead, however, we're simply as greedy as before for money, for sex, for fame, for food, and for sleep, if we like really good food and we get turned by delicious flavors, then our meditation won't respond. We won't get a response with our meditation. If we sleep to an excess and we're always craving a few more hours, then no matter how hard we meditate, there won't be any success. To sum it all up, the main support for our meditation is in the phrase, do no evil, but offer up all your good conduct, do all good deeds. Now, everybody knows what that means intuitively. We don't even have to ask, but how many of us can do it? Do no evil and offer up all good deeds. To have thoughts in our minds of doing evil deeds, this already is to entertain the evil. For instance, if in my mind I'm considering the possibility of going and killing someone, we just say drop dead, and we have those thoughts in our mind, we can't expect our Chan will work. Our meditation won't lead us where we want to go. If we have thoughts in our minds of cheating others, then likewise our meditation will come to nothing. If we have thoughts of making a lot of money, if we're preoccupied with getting wealthy, then our meditation won't work. So, meditation simply means cultivating our mind so that we don't have any more confused thinking and polluted thoughts in our minds. Then at that point, when our skill comes mature, we can get enlightened. We can break through this investigation. Again, to repeat, it cannot be the case that when we meditate, we sit just like a rock, but we look just like a real meditator. But then later, once we leave the meditation hall, our lifestyle is just like a hedonist. We live like playboys. It won't work. Our meditation won't succeed then. For instance, there's a Korean who calls himself the Mad Monk, and he lives a completely debauched lifestyle. He does absolutely everything he wants to, regardless of the rules, and yet he considers himself enlightened. This kind of behavior is something that we must absolutely avoid. This is not the behavior of an enlightened person. He only admits himself that he's enlightened. If we imitate models like that, then we can't expect our meditation will carry us where we want to go. Furthermore, when we sit in Chan meditation, we have to rid our mind of all thoughts of contention and fighting. We can't entertain any thoughts of greed in our minds. We have to resolutely get rid of all thoughts of seeking outside ourselves. We have to put an end to all selfishness, to all thoughts of taking advantage, and finally to all dishonest thoughts. All of these thoughts we have to resolutely purge from our minds, sweep them clean. Furthermore, we can't in our minds meditate with the hope of attaining psychic powers or some miraculous state. We can't hope to meditate to the point where we understand the workings of secret mantras and secret initiations and empowerments, ideas like this. If we meditate with the wish to open up these unique and miraculous powers in our minds, then we're sure to go down a wrong road. If we dwell upon secret transmissions and hope to use personal mantras to attain a kind of a psychic penetration or a psychic power, then it's a very dangerous practice. These are all doors of meditation that are practiced by heretical sects that do more harm than good. Now, if we truly use effort in the correct way, then very spontaneously we can have many marvelous states, but we don't want to seek them. We don't meditate with the purpose of accomplishing these things in front of us. Even if we do open up psychic powers or have their use, we shouldn't see them as a be-all and end-all. These are not the purpose of meditation. We don't need to seek for great wisdom. Great wisdom manifests spontaneously from our own enlightened nature, from our own self-nature. Not only psychic powers, but the wisdom that understands all things of creation, all the different myriad facets of reality, flow forth from our enlightened self-nature. Our own nature manifests these things without extra effort of thinking about it or seeking them. So, the Dharma door of Chan, if we wanted to talk about it in its entirety, we could talk till the end of future time, and we'd never come to an end. So today I've had the opportunity to share these few brief words with you about the topic of Chan meditation.
希望各位好自为之，勇猛精进，发大菩提心，成长大。
My wish is for you that each and every one of you do a very good job in your meditation, that you be courageous and vigorous and don't get lax. Please, all of you, bring forth the great Bodhi resolve and quickly accomplish the great way of Buddhahood.
你如果愿意到旁的乐园呐、天国啊，我相信都会成功的。
If your wish is to be reborn in heaven or in the Garden of Eden or wherever you choose to go, I hope that you all realize your wish and you get what you want.